more was Big Hero 6. If you want to be a roboticist, watch that movie. Brilliant. By the way, the Baymax or the inflated robot that you see on the right side is an actual robot. It's inspired from a real robot which was made by one of the guys from the DARPA team, right? So that's cool. And my point was, why can't we use these different multiple robots like the center image, right? I love that concept. That why cannot we have multiple robots getting together and doing tasks for us, right? So I was like, what can I do for it? So I started working in swarm robotics. Swarm robotics is a science of robotics which is inspired from nature. How ants would collect food, how bees would collect food, how fishes would swim, how birds would fly. Basically, anything which is in a group, we think about that and try to construct an algorithm for it. Um, so I started my experimentation with that. And what my point was, again, humans should be able to interact. So what I did was I made an augmented reality application. And if I change something in the augmented reality world, the robots should do that for me. The inspiration of this project was that maybe in future, if there are earthquakes, like Gujarat saw earthquakes not a lot of years ago, one of the deadliest earthquakes that we have seen. In such times, if you want to deliver medicines, if you want to help humans, if you want to bring certain objects, deliver certain things, or current time, this application can also hold for current time, where in the pandemic, we want to deliver medicines, we want to get dirty clothes from patients, we want to do different things without actually interacting or close proximity, then we can send robots. Now, these robots are really, 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 really dumb. They are not smart robots. They are really bad robots, but that's what I like about them because they make errors. When they make errors, I can repair them, I can fix them, and that's where we need humans. The robots are not smart as of now, so that we need humans to take better decisions. So right now it's just an object transport mechanism, if you can call it. So just robots would move around and do certain tasks for me, right? And another inspiration as the lazy side of me as a scientist was, what if I'm sitting on my couch? Okay, just a luxury point of view. What if I'm sitting on my couch? I don't want to get up, and there's pizza delivered on the entry or my door. I ask robots to like go get me pizza. They would come, bring me pizza. I'll get a slice. I'll enjoy it. Won't have to get up, right? So yes, and again, my gaming point was, the gaming idea was augmented reality. I believe that augmented reality is the future. You can do so much with augmented reality. So again, this application, I made it with Vuforia. It's spelled as, I'll spell it again in the next slide, so don't worry, Vuforia. And I used a game engine called Unity. I'm sure you guys would have heard it because IT engineers. So this is something you can do, right? This is what I had to learn as part of my IT background, right? As part of my computer science background, how to make simple applications. This application can be deployed on any interface. That's why I used Unity, because Unity is awesome, I would say. So try it out. Again, open source, science should be free, my motive. So check it out. All the videos, by the way, what I'm showing and what I've showed and what I will show are already free online. I'm not showing any confidential data because in research, we don't have confidential only till the point we publish, by the way. But mostly in a year, we make everything public, and that's how we like it. So everything is public. All the videos are here. You can even replicate these things by the tools that I've mentioned in the paper. The links can be found again online. Just Google me or go to my website. So yeah, just to see if I'm forgetting anything. So basically you can have different kinds of augmented reality interfaces. Now to get to technical end, can you see there are colored blobs here? Basically all the robots have colored stickers on top of it. Think why? Why are all these robots looking different? So that I can identify them, so that the interface can identify them. If all the robots are same, how can my interface say that, okay, this is yellow robot, this is green robot, right? So that's where Vuforia comes in. Vuforia is an augmented reality SDK, a software development kit, open source again, which you can find online. There are manuals again, there is tutorials again, which you can use to create these sample applications. One of the applications which I loved, I should have brought it here, but there's an application which we created specially for student seminars. Do you guys remember Harry Potter? In that, there were these newspapers and images which come to life. That was cool, right? We do that with augmented reality. Actually, so whenever I go for showing my posters to industry or academia, I usually make an application especially for that. So when they see my posters through that application in the iPad or phone or Android phone or any other interface, they see all the images come to life. They see images moving. I don't have a video for it, but it's cool. Try it out. Check it out. So with the same application, you can do all these stuffs as well. Think. It's just a matter of your thought. People out there have thought about it. So can you. And so you will. I'm sure about it. You guys have the potential. Okay. So moving to the next. So in the first step, there were more robots. My point was, why stop there? How about more humans? So basically, because my dream is to have a society with multiple humans, so basically all the humans we have, and as many robots as possible. So how can we improve a human's interaction? How can they intuitively, this word intuition or intuitively is very hard to describe when it comes to scientific metrics. So how can we move these objects or make the interface more intuitive? So now, this is the same thing that we did. That is fine. But yes, what I added was to form virtual walls, virtual just objects that robots can avoid. The robots would think there is actual obstacles there, but there is none. It's just a virtual field, basically. So that's what we added. Now, a fun fact, which I'll tell at the end of this video, but you can manipulate objects, which we already saw. One more thing which we added was selecting multiple robots. So just draw the circular structure and the robots would start moving. That's cool, right? When you want to select one or more robots, or all of them actually. Team reassignment is the same. Basically, we can swap the teams because some team might need more attention as compared to other teams. This was the coolest feature which I liked. We had shared awareness. So what I did was, if I change in any one interface, all the other interface would reflect the same change. Now, wait a minute. It's not very cool. What's the cool part of it? I'm just changing something in one. It's okay. All the knowledge is shared. The cool part is, all these interfaces are distributed systems. They don't know others exist. They are independent by themselves. What it means is, if I add 10 more such interfaces, the system would still work the same. It is scalable. There is a feature of scalability. As the same with the robots, if I add 100 more robots, the system would still behave the same way. That's the beauty of the work. Sorry, I'm taking too much pride in my moments. But yes, that's what we did. And this is just 4 of my friends. I asked them to come to the lab and just play around with robots for 4 different interfaces. Now, it doesn't have to be installed on iPads. It can be installed on any interfaces. We used iPad because larger screen, we can record it better. So just the cinematic entry would be cooler. Okay. So yeah, I just had a demo with multiple speed, people playing around just to show that the system works, and that's difficult. And this was again a video that we submitted for one of the conferences, but don't worry, we'll talk about it again. But so this was the engineering perspective. The video will play, but this was the engineering perspective. The entire video is the engineering perspective of my work. What is the science here? Science and engineering are 2 different things. That is something I had to learn through my experience. I'm an engineer. I'm still an engineer by heart, but I have to still think as a scientist because that's what I want. And that's what I think, that once engineering stops, science starts. Because science is just concept. It's abstract. right? So what is the science here? So there were user studies. We had, I think as far as I remember, we had 28 humans, users, come around and do certain tasks. What they had to do was place these two objects in certain structure and make a structure out of it. And we asked them, okay, you tried this interface, and there were two measures, but there were two different studies. One where they could use all these different kinds of modes. They can move the object, they can move the robot, they can swap teams, they can select multiple robots. While in the other task, they can either only move the object or move the robots. So we asked them that, okay, which kind of modes was better for you? Did you like controlling everything so that you can do whatever you want, or do you just like controlling one part of the experiment? All of them said that we liked the whole structure. We like control. Humans like control. We want everything on our hand. If I want to move an object, I will move an object. If I want to move a robot, I'll move a robot. It's my wish. And that's, we had certain metrics. We calculated their load. We calculated their understanding, their awareness, and we did some science. But yes, our hypothesis was true. So coming to the third part, the science. My key research, or my aspect of human robot interaction, what I love is, it's called human factors or psychology. I promise these are the only words, because I don't like words in my presentation, but these are the only words I think. But human factors are basically factors which affect our decision. And that is the key when it comes to controlling an interface. Okay, an example. Every one of you uses Instagram, right? I'm pretty sure, right? Now imagine battery's on. Okay. So in Instagram, if I tap on the right side, the next story will come, right? If I tap on the left, the previous story will come. What if I switch those, control were switched? Would it be as fun? Like imagine you want to go next and you're pressing left. If you want to go previous, you're pressing right side. That's not friendly, like it's not usable. So we need to test this usability of the system. We need to see how much easy it is for a human to use the system. That's what human factors is about. Because the more it's easy, the more you trust the system. There have been many such applications. I'm sure everybody would at least download one new application every month. But do we use it for the rest of our lives? No, because we don't trust it anymore, or it's not usable, or there's something lacking. We don't consciously think about it, but there is a factor which affects your decisions. So you have to also study human psychology, how people would talk, how social psychology works. So basically, if you and I, or all of us, are working in a team, making robots or doing search and rescue missions, how would we talk to each other? As simple as that. That is the most basic question if I'm asking. How would we talk to each other? If all hundreds of us talk together, it's going to be a noise issue, right? If you're on internet, we cannot hear each other. So what's the best way? That question is a scientific question. We tried answering a similar question, and I don't have videos for that because it's a science part of it, but the engineering is this. What right now I'm focusing on my research is making the system learn from you, rather than, so till now we were just talking about, okay, system, the human should learn how to use the system, it should be easy. But now my point is the system should learn from the human. So right now I'm thinking about how can machine learning, deep learning, reinforcement learning can help humans make life easier. Maybe that's a thing. So that's something you can focus on, right? Artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, reinforcement learning. And believe it or not, I am taking online courses right now, as of right now, since last 2 weeks. I did not know machine learning like that good, but I'm still learning, right? So that's what I'm telling you. Use the pandemic as much as you can. You're sitting at home, play games, sure, but spend at least 2 hours a day taking online courses. There's so much knowledge out there, so much free knowledge out there, right? Use it, grasp it. Right, so again, some question and answer round, and then we'll come back to presentation. I have some minute. Had you joined Robocon cell in your college? I wish. My college did not have a Robocon cell, but it never stopped me. I did not take part in RoboCon, but that's okay. I did the parts. I'll talk about it soon, by the way. That's the last part of my presentation. But if you get a chance, do it. The experience matters. Winning, losing doesn't matter in life. It's the experience. Learn as much as possible. Okay. How can AI integrated with robotics shape society as a whole? Oh, robotics shape society. So, without intelligence, a robot is a machine. That's what I believe. I think I placed it right. Yes. You want robots, and with robots, there is intelligence attached to it. With more intelligence, they'll make things better. They'll do tasks more effectively, more efficiently, and they'll help us achieve a goal faster and in a better way. So, AI, robotics, data science, these are the future. These are the future of mankind, according to me. Again, I'm not imposing my visions on you, but I'm just saying, make your own vision. What do you think is the future and work for it? That itself will give you a focus on what you want to do. Can you tell us about the real Baymax robot in detail? Sure. So that real Baymax, I forgot what's it called, but it's being developed, or I think they stopped research on it, but it was a part of a research lab in Carnegie Mellon, CMU, one of the best institutes in the world. Oh yeah, by the way, when I say one of the best, doesn't mean you have to go to the best. Like, make sure if you're planning to go to US, Canada, you select colleges wisely, not based on ranking. I've done that. I selected something on ranking I did not like. I came to WPI and I love it here. So yes, the real Baymax. It is, just imagine a stick robot. Okay, there's literally a stick, a single vertical stick and two horizontal sticks, and there's a balloon outside it. And what the inflated robot does is, there's a balloon. It inflates it as it wants and deflates it as it wants. Now, why do we want that? Imagine you are going through a very small space, so that the robot can lose the pressure, become thin, and go through it. It will improve motions in an environment where robots can move effectively. It also is helpful because it's light in weight, right? Because it's just air, so it will be easier. Just a sec, I accidentally did something. Okay, and you can just Google it. So the real Baymax. Just Google it, and I'm sure you can find the page for it. Future of gaming is like Ravan, leaving away the aggression shown in movie. The concept of gaming shown in movie is very much possible. Yes, it is. I loved Ravan. I understand the story and people hated it, but the graphics, man, come on! Like, that movie had one of the best graphics I've seen in Indian industry. Sorry, again. But yes, something like Ravan. What I see is, what my personal opinion about gaming is, and again, a secret, maybe I work on it future or not, I don't know, augmented reality. Because imagine you are in your own home, but things are overlapped with a virtual reality. You don't have to wear goggles all the time. It's just something your glasses, something transparent. And by the way, all companies, like every company was working on autonomous driving, like Tesla, Google, Apple, Uber. Now all the companies are making augmented reality glasses. So that's one thing if you want to focus on augmented reality. Apple is making one. Google is making one. Google already had one, but it's again making one, and many other companies. So augmented reality applications and products are going to come out soon. Can the gaming side of movie Ready Player One, oh man, I love that movie, become a reality? And if so, how would it go changing the gaming community? Yes, it already has. There are such gaming softwares and gaming setups available out there. The difficult part is, imagine you are putting on that headset, okay, and you're playing that driving car, like the game of driving a car. When you take a turn, because the entire vision is blocked and the only thing you can see is the virtual environment, your mind gets confused. And when you take a turn, your body expects a jerk, because when in an actual driving, when you take a turn, your body gets some torque, right? There is a curving force which we get when you take a rough turn. But when you don't get that, your mind gets confused. Your brain produces signals that, oh, you should have gotten this sensing, but you are not, and you will get nausea. People start vomiting after using virtual reality for more than 20 minutes. So this is a very common scientific problem, and people have been trying to solve it. And so let's see where we reach, but it is possible. Sir, if in future the robot gains the ability to take decisions on their own, they pose a threat. So my answer is watch the movie iRobot. The genius Isaac Asimov made 3 laws of robotics. Oh shoot, I should have. Okay, anyways. There are 3 laws of robotics, okay? Out of which the first is don't endanger humans. So they should never endanger our life. So one of those laws is that. If we don't follow those laws, hopefully we do, but we don't know as of now, as scary it is. But I don't think they pose a threat. The robots, again, like I said, are babies. If we groom them well, they'll take care of us. They'll help us. So that's why we need more roboticists. We need more people to make this field as sound as possible. Okay, sir, is it a very tough job making robots? Nope, it's not. It's easy. Trust me. I'll show you. That's the last part of my journey. How I made my robots and what you can do sitting at home today, right now. Sir, according to you, which field has great scopes from robots, standalone robots? Which basic is required us to learn, pursue that in future? So for now, basics, learn just simple robotics. Again, that's the last part of what I want to give you guys, because I'm sure you would relate, and that's how I see the questions. Can you suggest the best online course for learning robotics from scratch? So that's the problem. There is no good online course for robotics because robotics cannot be learned through a course. It's pure experience because you'll need, you already have experience of IT or EC or whatever department you are with. You need the experience of other fields. So you need some basics of, let's say, mechanical, of electronics. So how do you do it? Make circuits, make small mechanical structures, use motors, like something which you can find readily. I'll tell that again. I have started learning ROS lately. Oh, that's cool. That's really nice. That's good. What more after ROS? Also, will it help me get admit to MS? Okay, that's another discussion by itself, but I'll answer it in very short. MS is not only about what skills you have. It's a lot of things. You have to write about your statement of purpose. There is letter of recommendations. You know what? I won't take this answer as answered. Let's come back to this at the end of the slides so that we cover the rest of the things, okay? What's your view on augmented reality versus virtual reality? I'm biased against augmented reality, with augmented reality. I love augmented reality because imagine, the first day I used Google Lens. So Google Lens are glasses, literally like these, where you just have a tiny slit of prism here and you literally see everything over here. It's so cool. Like it's programmed, it's very light and it has a camera. So literally I can move around, I can see things. It was like my mind was blown. I was like, this is the future. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, I don't know. But I just love that augmented reality. Virtual reality, I see the negatives, the disadvantages more. Like I said, there's nausea being induced. Your brain gets confused in the real environment and the virtual environment. You don't know what reality is. After a while, you get confused. There are times there are different neuroscientific issues related to virtual reality. Scientists are still exploring it. So it's not hardcore that, okay, these are the problems that exist. We are still working on it and people will continue. But let's see, maybe you can find the answer. You can try it out, right? By the way, both the applications, you can make it at home. What do you need? A phone, and you have it. Make an augmented reality application, make a virtual reality application, judge for yourself. That's the another thing in science. If you want to be good at what you are, judge for yourself. Don't believe anybody else. Test it, try it, learn it, understand it, and then judge, right? So your views on the movie Robot and Robot 2.0, I loved it. I understand there were people who did not like it, but it's an art. It's good. It was cool, right? And by the way, whatever terms they use in the movie, they are actually true. The zettabytes and like this motor and this and that, they are actually terms. So basically, somebody sat down and thought about robots and science and used it to write script. That's what I liked. As long as they follow laws, I don't care. I follow laws of science and robotics. The story is fine. What do you think about Austin Dynamics? Does their dog robot has any point in their useful robots, or it's just fun project? Actually, no. A lot of the dog project is very useful. So, by the way, for those who don't know, Boston Robotics makes like a dog kind of robot, which has like 4 legs, and it moves around in the environment. The reason this robot was deployed or used is it can pick up to 100 kgs of weight. So imagine for soldiers when they're going in rough environments, or even Indian soldiers in Siachen, right? There is so much snow, there is so much rough environment that they have to go through. Yet they have to carry 30, 40 kgs of their bags, weapons, ammos, food, whatnot. Imagine a robot doing that for them. That's cool, right? So that's why they had this project. While for the other robots, which look like a simple dog and has a hand, it's the Spot Mini. It's more of like a developer robot, so that it is accessible to more universities and more institutes use it and try to solve the problem of making it walk, because yet we are thinking about making them walk properly, make them jump, make them climb surfaces which are not even, right? Okay. Okay, so I think we'll go ahead. We'll come back to MS thing again. I'm sure it will be useful to again. So yes, Professor Kotecha asked me that what projects can you do? Because I'm sure you can relate it to it, right? So some of my guidelines, or from what I've learned, start early. I started making robots in my first year of undergrad. Doesn't mean you are late if you're in third year. You still can. My point is start early. If not robotics, do something extra just for the fun of it, right? Imagine what you like. You like gaming? Make a game. You like sports? Make something that can help you play sports. If you like fashion, make a software where you can make clothes, right? So there is so much things out there. Find your passion, connect to it, and move ahead. That's what I did. And that was helpful. Take advantage of the lockdown. And most important, not most important, very important, make mistakes. I made mistakes. Friends of mine who are here make mistakes, because from mistakes you learn. But make sure you learn from it and don't repeat them. That if you repeat the mistakes, then it's a hell lot of problem. But don't repeat your mistakes and learn from it. It's okay to make mistakes. We cannot learn without mistakes, right? Look out for knowledge, okay? Look and just imagine. Imagination is the beauty. And look, the most important thing that anybody needs for science, for engineering, for even starting a business is not an idea. It's not money. It's the problem. What problem can you solve? Right? So think about it. And the top secret resource at the end of the slides, I'll give you a top secret resource, okay? So now the first is make a robot. Now, how do you make a robot? There is like just get 2 wheels, 2 motors, a caster, some sensors, a controller, and electronics. And don't make the robot from a kit, right? Find a circuit. As simple as like just take 2 motors, 2 wheels, and just 2 wires and a battery. Just see what happens. Just make a simple mechanism and just see. Just experience that knowledge. You would be like, yeah, what's the big deal about it? No, it is. The first time I made my robot, I made this kind of a simple car robot for what, 10 times? But every time I learned new things. Trust me, I'm telling you by experience. So try it, make it. So I would really say, try making a simple robot. So I was looking for some videos from my past. So I found these couple of images which I took in 2009, my second year of my undergrad. And I was like, shit, man, I miss those days. So at that time, we made circuit from our own. So literally we got a circuit board, which is iron. I think it's copper. It's a copper plate. So on copper plate, what I did was with marker, I drew the circuit diagram, the way I wanted the circuit holes and things to be. I put it in FeCl3 solution. In FeCl3, it replaces the copper and basically keeps only the marked position. So I created my own circuit. That experience, it's simple. It's so. At first, I was like, yeah, what's the big deal in it? Why are my college people making me do this? But the first time I made it, I was like, wow, this is how they make circuits. This is how the first guy who would have made the circuit felt like this. That moment, I realized it's so much fun to make something from scratch. But again, I used a development board, which you can see here. But at least the sensors I created to my own. So don't judge me. So this was, I think, the sixth robot I made. I called it Optimus Prime because I was a kid, sure. But can you see how simple it is? I just took cardboard, I painted it, I put two motors, I put two wheels, and I just made it. I had a battery and just started using it. You learn as you just roll with it. You just start, and you guys have the best resource. Use Arduino. Arduinos are so easy to use. There is so much data out there. There's so many tutorials out there. We used to make our own Arduinos, so at least you can use that. So that's fun. But yes, this robot was super flawed. What was a super flawed? It was long, and the system was not precise. So I made it again, and that's how you learn every time. I still remember what the fault was. Imagine 10 years more, 11. So yeah, so try making one. It's as simple. If I can do it, anybody can. So try and do it. The next is project that I would ask you guys to do is explore such future tech. So like I said, for the augmented reality, Vuforia and Unity, you can write those things down. These two are open source. There are tutorials out there, and don't take anybody's help. Do those tutorials on your own. Read them. The reason is, once you do those things on your own without somebody telling you, or you're giving exams for the exams, you will never forget that knowledge. And it will just, okay. Experience was, like I said, in this second year, I made this robot, okay, and it had a microcontroller. I programmed it, I made the structure. And in third year, I had a course on microcontroller. So before I even took the course, or even the course started, I knew everything about it. So imagine you already have a course done in your vacation. Try that. It feels awesome. And trust me, it's not very difficult. I know it. First it thinks like, wow, it's a very big deal. It's not. Just do it. Like Nike. Not promoting Nike here, but just a joke. So one of the fun fact which I did as a part of my undergrad was I especially came to Mumbai. My sister was studying there at that time. Especially alone from Ahmedabad, I took a train. I came to Mumbai just to explore the electronics market there, because I think it's on Lamington Road or Grant Road. I don't know what's it called, that area, but that has the Asia or India's biggest electronics market. Although there were markets in Ahmedabad too, but I just wanted to see what it feels like over there. And I was like, wow, this is an experience. So try doing something that, not right now, don't go out, stay home. But I'm just saying, try exploring technology, try understanding new tech, see what you want, and things are not expensive. Just if you try to find something, everything is available for free or cheap. So use it properly, okay? So yeah, so this was actually the vision one, which I did not put it because I added this video in the morning. I could not find it. But this was my final year project. Maybe it inspires you, maybe. But so for making that final year project, I wanted to make a good video. So for the first time, I installed Adobe Premiere Pro. I actually learned video editing just because I could make this video. I still use that skill. I still use Photoshop because when I'm making my academic papers, I'm writing papers, I want good images. So no knowledge goes to waste. That is another thing. Use Adobe tools. They are available. I know it's expensive, but you can find it, right? We are in India. So that's how I still find it. So use such softwares, test it, learn it, understand. Just do photo editing. It's fun. Make memes out of your friend's image. I did it. I still do it sometimes. But it's just part of it, right? At least that ways, you'll learn that software. And anytime in the future you want to edit an image, you'll use it. So yes, I made this. This was one of the early videos I made. So don't judge my video editing skills. But I used to call it the Project Aries. It's automated, reliable, intelligent, efficient, smart, secure system. A really long name. But what I did was I made this simple interface using some second-hand phones that I could find off the market, 100 rupee, 200 rupee phones. Okay, I used microcontrollers so that there is one sensor module installed. Let's say in so you have a big house, a very big house, or a big, or you have a farmhouse, okay, and you have a farm behind it, and you want to see if there are threats entering or not, and there are sensors installed in different parts of that field, so of the farm, and with that threat, you want to lock all the doors and the windows. So that's what I did. I made my own lock. I made my own mechanism. As simple as that. Like if you see, can you see the spring here? Like it's a spring mechanism. And you know what spring is that? It's that toy. I literally got that toy from a toy shop, used it and made it this project. So it's not expensive, right? It's just cheap. Like see the tools that I'm using at that time, just for the fun of it. But yes, it turned out to be my final project, and this project would also give me a call on my phone that okay, there is a threat detected, and just all the sensors were created at home, something very easy. And trust me, if again I'm repeating this, if I can do it, you can do it. You just need a direction, and maybe today I gave you a direction. I hope that. And I tried patenting this. This was a patent in I filed it in India. Fun fact that got rejected a year ago. Now see the bad fonts I selected here, but my patent got rejected last year. But so what? The experience of filing a patent, sitting with a lawyer, or writing English. Oh, that's a challenge. Okay, writing good English, but that's a challenge for me at least. So every part of the learning is a learning. Learn from every part that you have. Okay, now the secret resource. Before I come to your questions, we'll have a short discussion, don't worry. The secret resource. If you want to find the field applications, job markets in India, USA, Canada, industry requirements, important skills and projects of robotics, neuroscience, IT, software engineering, Amazon, MIT, Google, different top names. If you want the top-notch skills knowledge, go to this YouTube page. I know I'm kind of promoting it, but this is a free resource. It has been free resource only since a week or two. And even the first video, if you see the bottom right, that's me. And I talk more about technical about swarm robotics. But like I said about the friend who is an iRobot, makes the vacuum cleaning robot, that's the top right video. Then the robot who made, then the friend of mine who made the medical robot, which the needle goes in your brain, bones it. He also has a talk there. There's a person from MIT. She's a PhD student in neuroscience, basically how brain activities and how it's connected to engineering. There's mechanical sciences. And this knowledge is for free. So go, like, share, subscribe. This page is going to be invaluable soon. So share it and learn from it. And you will be thinking, oh, each video is at 30 minutes. That's difficult. How can I watch 30 minutes when I can watch 30 minutes of another series or some sitcom? These videos have like thumbnails or what's it called, timestamps on it. So you can literally, there are questions on it. You can press that timestamp and see that question only. So it's that easy. Use the knowledge. There is so much data out there and there's so much resources. By the way, if you want to pursue field in academia, how things go, especially based in USA, I talk about that as well in the video. But yes, because I cannot do everything in this webinar. So that's why I hope the video or those other videos help. So I think that's what I have. So I'll get back to the questions. I hope I'm not overdoing the time. I hope I gave some good knowledge. But okay, let's get here. I'm from EC background and have experience in mechanical designing of robots too. I want to improve on coding part. Where should I start from? C++. So get a book or forget a book. You don't need book for C++. Okay, the first thing is install an IDE, basically an environment where you can code C++. Check out Visual Studio Code. That's an development environment that everybody uses here in industry, in academia. So check it out. Again, open source. I like only open source things. a Visual Studio Code, VS Code. Okay, I can write here in actually. You can find it. Google it. It's by Microsoft, but the tool is really nice. Try writing Hello World code in it. You learn so much by just doing that. And there's a brilliant website called Hacker Rank, HACKERRANK. So just Google Hacker Rank. It has competitions and challenges on it. So basically, they'll give you 40 minutes time for some problem, and you try to solve it. But it will help you getting good at coding. And if you want to follow a book, actually, if you are starting from scratch and if you have no background of knowledge of C++, there is a book. Actually, your department or IT department, it can help you better, because I'm not sure what are the current best books. But what I used in my undergrad was Bala Gurusamy, the C++ programming book. So maybe you can check it out. Distant Galaxy Font Lover. Oh yes, I liked it at that time, but now I don't use it. It's hard to read. I have started learning ROS lately. I enjoyed. Oh yeah, I'll come back to again. So on this page, on this YouTube page, there are YouTube videos uploaded every week. And I think next week, or even like this Instagram page, they have these webinars for free. And I think within a week, they have especially a webinar on students who want to come to US and Canada for MS. So follow Boarding Pass for Success on YouTube and Instagram for such updates. And they're going to talk with an expert who has a consultancy of their own. And they're going to talk about how students can come to US, what's the right thing, especially for the current pandemic scenario. So for even your friends, your seniors, if they want to be a part of this webinar, just like the Instagram page and follow it. Okay, so yes, for MS, you need a couple of things. You need your own profile. Basically, you need extra activities. It's not only okay, academics. You want to do other things. You want to explore. You want to show that why did you like of that field that you're applying for. And just learn. Basically, here when you come for masters, they don't expect you to be an expert of something. What they expect is that you are ready to learn, you're ready to explore new things, that you're hungry for knowledge, and you have to show that hunger. How? Try new things, learn new things, make videos, have a YouTube channel of your own, do random things and just put a video on it. Nobody's going to subscribe to it. It's fine. Even I have my YouTube channel. I have 12 subscribers. I don't care. It's like a backup of my videos, right? Because whatever work I do, I just put it there so that in case my hard drive gets erased, I have some backup that I did something like this on a public domain, right? Make a website. You need to have a website, and websites are cheap or free. There are so many details out there. Okay, sir, if villain makes their own robots, that would be disastrous. Yes, that would be. At the same time, there are smart people who are coming up with like ethical hackers, right? They can hack these robots, maybe if things go wrong, hopefully not. Let's hope not it's used for a bad way, because robotics has a huge... This is a very tricky question. It's about ethics, it's about morality, it's about legality at the same time. So I think in the end, whoever makes this robot, it's their decision to not do a wrong thing. So another example, or a parallel example, if you can relate, the first atom bomb or the nuclear science that came out, that was the nuclear scientists started developing nuclear energy as a part of treating humans, using it as medical grade purposes, using it as a power source, using it as so many other things. But there were people who used it as a weapon, right? So I think it is inevitable in a way, but let's see. Let's hope not. Let's really hope not. Or at least you future roboticists will stop it from happening. And the old generation at that time would also stop. View on AI developed by Facebook as they shut off the center because AI started to... Yeah, I read about that. I'm not actually sure what happened. So that is likely to happen. So AI is... It wasn't alive, I would say, but it was just trying to communicate some sort of messages. I know it was kind of a Morse code, few random characters. But I think they shut it off because they did not understand what happens. And when humans don't understand something happens, we are scared. It is with everything. It is just in our brain. So I don't know if they have a hardcore proof for it, but maybe I can check it out. Interesting. I've been asked this question a couple of times. How can we make our own sensors? Search for infrared sensors. You can find circuits online. There are so many tutorials out there because I could find this in 2008. And so right now it's definitely much better resources. So look for infrared sensors. Start from an infrared and think about other sensors eventually. But with infrared, you can avoid obstacles. You can go closer. You can detect color because infrared reflects on white color and absorbs on black. So if it doesn't, if there's no reflection, then it's a black color. So you can do color recognition with it. You can do ground recognition. You can avoid robots from falling off the table. There's so many other things. Okay, so start with infrared basically. Are Google and Facebook spying on us using AI? So, I had a professor in University of Southern California when I was there for a year. He used to start all his online lectures by saying, "Hey NSA." So it's kind of possible that they are looking into us, into me, into all of us. I don't know how to put it nicely, frankly. It is what it is. There are people who are paranoid. I am a bit kind of paranoid, but it's okay. As long as they are using it for the better of us and they are not spying in a bad way, it's fine, right? Because imagine it's you increasing the usability. But yeah, add Amazon to it as well, to the list. Can holographic tech be used as an alternative to augmented reality? So yes, I often think about this actually, holography and augmented reality, like in my free time. I always think that holography needs a medium. What it means is it needs something to project on, right? You cannot project something in thin air. So what is that medium? Is it a gas? Is it a plastic or a surface? We don't know yet. So whatever has been done in holography as of now has a glass and it feels like a hologram, or a gas, or like a cloud, or like just smoke and would project on to feel like a hologram. The way I see it, I won't like it. It's my opinion again. You can have your own. You should have your own opinion rather than you can. I like augmented reality because I can literally move around and that becomes part of me. I know, watch Black Mirror on Netflix. It has scary parts of augmented reality, but it's still cool. Maybe we get there somewhere. Even Google developed a game and AI was getting more aggressive. I don't know about that. So, like I said, AI is still an upcoming knowledge. There is a lot aspects of AI that still we are developing and still is in research. Things that I talked about here is in research. So coming it as a product would take at least 10, 15 years in the entire thing that I've talked about. And just imagine after 10, 15 years, there's a robot who can hardly walk. So it takes years and years of research till it actually comes to users. So I'm sure if there is a threat possible, it won't come to users. You have to take risks in small contained environments. And if there is something, there would be never used for humans. There are smart leaders, there are smart world leaders, there is people who are taking these decisions, and there is a lot of things happening. There are literally councils who sit down to come up with laws. Fun fact, in American government, there is a department of extraterrestrial activities. What it means is they wait if aliens contact them. Literally. So if there is a department for aliens contacting, which is even a possibility, maybe, I don't know, but for them, maybe there are so many other councils who are thinking about how AI should work, what are the laws of AIs. There is lots of things. There's another thing. Satya Nadella wrote an article on laws of AI. Brilliant article. He gave 7 or 8 laws of AI. Try reading it. And beautiful. Very well written. What is the basic difference between augmented reality and virtual reality? Okay. So in virtual reality, you are in a virtual environment. Okay. So you cannot see the real environment. You're completely immersed in that environment with that goggles. While in augmented reality, you are in the real environment, but on the real environment, there is virtual objects. Does that make sense? So Google it. What the technology I said was augmented reality, what my videos were about. But if you see movies like Ready Player One, another brilliant movie by Steven Spielberg, that is virtual reality. So there is other things you can check it out. Okay, this was the coolest seminar. Thanks. I hope you liked it. Thank you for the cool words. I appreciate it. Do you think linking human brains to internet is possible? It would be great. Oh man, I would love that. I don't know. People are still thinking about it. Maybe so. This talk on the bottom left on the YouTube page, it's by an MIT student. Maybe I don't know if she talks about it. I haven't seen that talk yet. But she works on computational neuroscience. What it means is they study brain activity and see how it can be used for controlling arm robots, for controlling a lot of different things. It's not possible as of now, but hopefully in future. Okay, I answered this. Can robots be used in the war? Again, my opinion is I won't like that. And I hope not that becomes a future. So I hope not. It should not be used for violent purposes. It's for helping us. Your opinions on mixed reality, I like that again. I love mixed reality, and that's one of the current technology I'll be working on. So I'm waiting for a device called Magic Leap 1. It's like HoloLens. It is an augmented or mixed reality goggles. So you put on the whole goggles, and it's mixed reality. Mixed reality, what it means is it's a mixture of virtual reality and augmented reality. You have the real environment. You have augmented things on the view. Plus, you have virtual objects. You have virtual things moving. You can interact with those virtual objects, and that's what mixed reality is. Amazing seminar, sir. Full-time utilized. Thank you, sir. Glad that helped. Thoughts on brain-computer interface. So the wheelchair I showed, which I control with the EMG, the original project, there was a team from Northeastern University. On the same wheelchair, they were coming up with the brain interface. So through brain activity, they could control the wheelchair. And I actually tried it. I sat down on the wheelchair. They put a display in front of me, and based on the retinal, so your eye activation and your brain. So when you move your eyes, when you see certain patterns, your brain deploys certain signals. They are called alpha, beta, and gamma signals. Couple of them are generated from here, your center of your head, your lobe of the ears, and on the back part of your brain. So they put 3 sockets on my head, and by just looking at those images, and if I see certain directions, the wheelchair moved. It was weird, but it was fun. It's still in development. And there is a lot of other things. There are research dedicated to brain-computer interfaces. And actually, this computational neuroscience is related to it. You can check it out. Slightly off topic, but do you like the game like the one in Sword Art Online? Oh, I like the anime. Not as much, but it was a good anime. Sword Art Online, I love the concept. I love the thing about just immersing and you're completely waking up in a different environment. Maybe it is possible. I think it is related to, again, computational neuroscience, because you plug into your brains some activity, you record activity, and you input certain activity. So the way our body is, do you guys know Frankenstein? So Frankenstein is an actual type, like not exactly Frankenstein, but in science, the earlier psychologists or neuroscientists, what they did was they poked obviously in dead frogs. In certain parts of brain, they would put electric signals. Based on those signals, certain parts of the body were moving. So if we can put those signals, maybe we can deploy certain thing, and maybe we'll have a game like that in future. Maybe. Again, everything is maybe. If we dream it, we'll make it possible. Maybe you can make it possible. If you open source your AR projects, can we get it on GitHub ID? My AR project is not yet open source. The reason is, it's not because it's confidential. The reason is the code is very badly written. I'm not proud of my code. It's the worst possible code anyone can write. Like, I'm sure you guys can write better code than that. But it's just because research, I never cared about organizing the code better, the optimization of it. I just wanted to get things running. Maybe after a year or two, I'll make it public once I finish my current research. But as of now, I don't have the plans for it. Great seminar. Thank you. Thank you. Ross project suggestions based on the experience and demand in the market. Look for localization and mapping. That's one of the key things that a lot of industries wants. And the top right video, Nandan Banerjee is a friend of mine. He works on iRobot and he works on the exactly same problem, and he still works on it since last 5 years. It's a problem which every industry is facing, starting from Tesla to Google to Apple to every other company. It's called localization and mapping, or just search SLAM, SLAM. The algorithm is called simultaneous localization and mapping. You can try it out, check it out. Okay, and Ross has packages for it. This was actually the best seminar though. Thank you so much. How close are we to creating full immersion VR worlds, like full drive? I'm not really sure. Maybe this is a very tricky question. I don't know if anybody is as of now, because a lot of people I know or a lot of companies that I've known about, they're moving to augmented reality rather than virtual reality for the exact same problems which we discussed about nausea, medical conditioning. You'll be confused, a lot of confusion. Views on making an artificial eye for the blind. There are people working on it, yes. There is research going on. There is artificial eyes. The reason it's difficult a bit is eye is one of the most delicate organs that we have. It is really difficult to replicate the exact structure of eye, but they are trying to make using camera and trying to make it a bit better. Last time I read, there is something happening. You can check it out. Oh yes, when you check out new knowledge, make sure your source is good. So if you want to check something which is really good or authentic or academic, search on scholar.google.com. You'll find only academic papers on it, patents, and only things that exist. No WhatsApp news. Okay, so don't believe WhatsApp news. Search for whether that's actually authentic, and only then believe it. Okay. Thoughts on brain-computer interface? I already did that. What are your views on Neuralink? Oh yes, Elon Musk's company. It has a lot of potential. Like I'm telling you, computational neuroscience, like Sugandha, I think her name is Sugandha, yes. She works on that. I still want to see that talk, and I believe that is the future. That is one of the future that we are going towards to. And yes, you don't need to be a biology expert for either being a medical roboticist or a computational neuroscientist. You learn things eventually. I'm learning things on psychology which I had no idea about. I learned biology on the way. I did not have biology in my high school, but you pick up things. So open about learning. If you want to grow as an academic, as a researcher, as a scientist, always keep on learning. Always be open to learning. Are robots an application in medical field, as in carrying out surgeries on their own? So most of the robots which are used for medical robots are usually to help doctors and to less their work. So there are a couple of tasks when they perform surgery is to have precision, accurate precisions, which basically what it means is just doing a cut. Okay, and those cut have to be precise in millimeters. And sometimes human in pressure, in even doctors, no matter how skilled they are, they can have some errors, and robots don't do those errors, right? Because they are accurate, and that's where doctors use robots. They use it for accurate precision, for accurate performance, for effectiveness and efficiency. And rest, it's all governed and supervised by robots, by doctors basically. There was a doctor who I think last year, Ketan Desai in Gandhinagar in Ahmedabad, near Ahmedabad in Gujarat basically. He did an operation for 4 patients using Da Vinci, a robot basically with arms. He teleoperated the robots basically from sitting in one place operating on some other patients. Sitting in Akshardham, the Swaminarayan temple in Gandhinagar. So he operated on 4 or 3 patients from there. Maybe you can check that out, the news and the robots. I have a similar project using brain-computer interface in the EMG trying to predict speech, words of a person.
I'm just interrupting for a while.
Yes, sure.
do you have time? Because I think they might have questions for you for the whole night. So only if
Okay.
you have time. Otherwise, maybe we may end it whenever you say.
Sure, Radhika. Radhika, ma'am, thank you. But I'm fine. I think I can answer. I can take at least 10 minutes,
Okay,
and maybe we
great,
can
great,
wrap
great,
up.
great. That would be excellent.
Thank you so
Just
much.
that we
Thank
shouldn't
you so
bother
much.
you so much.
No, I love to helping everyone out. So,
Okay,
thank you
great.
so much.
That would
But
be great. So if you have
for,
time, that would be great. Yeah, yeah.
yes, thank you. Yes, for the brain computer interface and EMG. Uh, so one of the most difficult challenges for brain computer interface and EMG is the signal is noisy. You won't be able to differentiate between whether a signal is good or what it's supposed to say. There are two different models that you can follow for this. One is check out digital signal processing. You can use those techniques to filter those signals. You can use those equations or those filters or low pass filters, high pass filters to make the signal less noisy, or you can even use machine learning techniques. Check out neural networks, deep learning methods. What you can do is you can train the neural network to understand the signals like you want it to. There is resources out there. I know I'm talking too abstract, but noise is very important when it comes to biosensors. Biosensors is in biological sensors, especially brain computer interface and EMG. So do check that out. Okay. Some of fields things we should focus on for development robotics. Off field things. Um, so I would say try to connect your liking, your passion, your something that you like with it. Just develop. Maybe nobody has done that. Maybe you'll have a innovation right out of that thought. So look out for look out for problems rather than ideas, rather than money. How will you start the business? That's after everything. First important is what problem are you solving from your project. Again, this is very abstract, and my mentor asked me the same question in my bachelor's, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" It was completely abstract for me, but you slowly realize that how important that is. I did realize after some time how important that problem is, but just because my mentor, my advisor, asked me that question, I could at least start thinking about it, and maybe I hope maybe you all can too. What made you passionate about robotics? This is I don't remember, but I always liked robotics since I was a kid. I liked breaking circuits. I liked opening up tools, just all the scrap in the house. I would just open it, test out things, just play around. As of why I liked robotics and why I selected as a career, I think I have an answer for that. I liked coding, but when I used to sit and code something, I was like, what am I coding for? What is the physical aspect of the coding? With robotics, I could see something moving. I could see something happening, and that's what made me focus more on robotics. I'm not saying that people who do just coding, it's bad for them or something. That's not my opinion. What my own learning out of that was, I wanted to see something graphical, something LED blinking, as simple as that, and that made me smile. The first time I used a circuit to made LED blink, there was a huge smile on my face, and I still remember those emotions. It was fun. But yeah, movies played a very important role. Terminator, Wall-E, Big Hero 6, Rajnikant's Robot. I love that movie. But there is a lot of other things. So get inspired. Inspiration is very important when it comes to your career choices. Can we get your contact details for further questions? Yeah, sure. Um I'm thinking what's the best way to contact. So my last name, first name at gmail.com. So pateljayam at gmail.com. Okay. So just you can shoot me an email. Feel free to get in touch. I don't mind replying. I might be lazy. So if I'm middle of something, so basically when I'm working on some project, I usually shut myself from the world. Switch off emails. I switch off WhatsApp, I just work on something. So at those times, if I don't reply, don't worry, I'll get back to you soon. Okay, but feel free, in short. And trust me, for more questions, you'll find a lot of more answers on this page. Again, I'm focusing on that. Okay, yeah, you just said about robotic surgery. So what if there is a signal lost? That is difficult. So um, there are, I forgot what's the technical term for this, but in robotics, they have thought about this, especially for teleoperation robots. So imagine I'm a robot. Well, I have two hands. I'm basically picking up this mic or picking up this pencil, pen, and just moving, and I'm going to write down, and the signal gets lost. These robots have a functionality where the state would hold. They would stop moving till the supervisor or the operator comes back. So in that case, or that is one of the possible moves that they would stop moving. Or in such case, what they would do is they would move back to their safe position. So they would put those sharp knives or scalpels on the table and just rest till the connection comes back. Um, Also, a lot of companies, especially in medical robotics or many other companies who are still, or many academic researchers, they often think about this problem. So it is an effective problem and something to think about. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay, sorry. I think I crossed off the wrong question. If I don't answer, can you ask it again? Thank you. Market for robotics. Hi, sorry.
Yeah, I could just now you said the robotic surgery, so I could relate how technology is getting more and more into medical science and its applications, right?
Yes.
I just had one of my colleague, he was working on a project. That project name is kind of electromyostimulation, how artificially you can, stimulate your muscles. So I just needed to know few things about that. So where would be the correct platform for me to connect with you?
Oh, for simulating muscle activities. Wow. I'm
I have idea about it. If you want, I can explain you right now.
Sure. I think everyone would love to hear about it as well.
So, the thing I was like my colleague where actually he studied muscles first. So we have, a muscle have actually receptors, electrical impulses receptors that are coming from your brain. So these receptors you can artificially stimulate by, providing the accurate amount of frequency that would be decided by a impulse maker. There's a chip called AT-S8-90515. That chip is set at a frequency where it will very minutely at a particular frequency it would it will kind of push electrical impulses of about zero point 0.3 kilowatt zero point 0.3 watts or zero point 0.3 volts, like that. And your muscle receptors would receive those electrical impulses and they would contract and relax accordingly. So is there I just wanted to know that what is the future of these kind of devices? Like, do you feel in medical science applying these kind of new innovations would be easy?
The way, so when you were describing this, the first thought that I had in mind was rehabilitation robotics. So basically, people who have gone through physical trauma or mental trauma, they need to go through physiotherapy and they need to reactivate certain muscles. So maybe devices like these can help those muscles get reactivated, maybe help train brain. I'm not sure though. I cannot vouch on the statement, but at least the way I can imagine, maybe this can help rehabilitation patients feel those aspects more, or maybe there can be just manual signals to activate or deactivate certain muscles or certain hand gestures.
Lot in use for those people who are not able to use their muscles like normal, like us. Okay,
Yes.
people like old age guys, or we have a studio. The actual implementation of this I saw in Andheri. There's a studio called Electromeo Simulation Studio. So these guys, they use this technology. So I just wanted to come ahead and let everyone know that there are future application of this. You can bring up these devices on a larger picture.
That's very true. That's very true. I think I know about the company. Is this company here in US? Because there's a Mayo something company here.
No, check out Electromeo Simulation Studio. That is in Andheri, what I saw on Google. Want me to spell it? Electromeo Simulation?
No, I got the spelling. Electromyosimulation. It's an Andheri, right?
They call it electrical gym. They say like they have a suit which is implanted with electrical impulse creators, small devices that specific joints or muscles. So this is how they are actually coming up in business of this using this application.
Yeah, I see it's being used for rehabilitation as well in robotics. So yes, it's basically for helping training muscles, making even better muscles, even weight loss. Wow, that's fancy. That's cool. But yeah, see, so there's so many things out there. All you have to do is just try and look for it. Thank you so much. Wait, sorry.
Questions regarding this. So I just wanted to connect with you sometime later, coming up with better knowledge and, working into this thing for, just for my curiosity.
Sure, sure. Send me an email. Like I said, you guys are feel free to contact me. Thank you, Devang. Sure. Always happy to learn new things. Okay, so moving to next question. Market for robotics and jobs related to it in India? Yes. There are a couple of other companies. I know one in Ahmedabad that's called Robotics India. There are a couple of them in Mumbai. One of the most best resources, I can share it here in the chat, I think. Can I chat? Chat is meeting available. Oh, sorry. So, okay, you can just Google this. There's a website called Robot Report. I think it's robotreport.org. I can check it out. But yes, on that website, there is a map under resources. Yes, the robotreport.com. So in that website, if you go under resources, there is a global map. And on that map, there is companies related to robotics, institutes of research, universities of the entire world shown on map. So just go and you can see it, what all companies are here. Of all the companies I know, India's biggest company in robotics is Grey Orange. I think it's based in Delhi and Indonesia or somewhere else, but they also have an office here in USA. It's a very well-known company and a very reputed company. So you can check it out. And important attributes of a robotics engineer. I would say jack of all and master of some. That's what you want to be as a robotics engineer. You want to be jack of all, basically you want knowledge of very different varied fields, and you want to be an expert of your expertise of the fields that you want, and you should be open to learning new things. As long as you do that, you'll be successful as a roboticist. Can robots be used in technical?
I just wanted to ask you one more thing.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Divyang, since we have many other students, I request you to send your queries later, because then you see, sir also has time limitations and there are so many more students. So maybe you can interact with him later.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. Just send me an email, Divyang, and we can talk about it. I'll just address these questions and I think we'll be fine. Great. Can robots be used in teaching industry? I mean, can teach students in class? Yes, but we have good teachers. Come on. So maybe they can help teachers. Again, like I'm putting this again and again, they are here to help us. So they can maybe help teachers make the classroom cooler. have flying virtual objects in the environment, have augmented reality. Whoever suggested this idea, it's a cool idea. You can try coming up with or thinking about this. It doesn't have to be a hardcore product, but you can at least think about this, right? There are other things as well done. A project in my lab, one of the other colleagues that I had, they were working on robots which can walk, which can move on whiteboards, and they can draw images for you. That would be cool, right? So helping teachers explain better. I will tell your robot developers that is highly. I'm. I'm not sure how to put that salary. So, if you are in industry, the minimum master salary I think is $75,000 or $65,000, but that is because your H1B requirements are that. I'm talking about USA. I have had friends who have salaries up to 100K, which is $1 lakh, around that. But again, this is not generalizing. I cannot give an opinion on this. It depends from companies to companies, products to products, and fields to fields. Sir, can you please send your contact details? I would be glad. Yes, it's Patel Jayam. My last name, Patel, first name Jayam @gmail.com. Simple as that, pateljayam@gmail.com. Okay. So do you think in future can such robots be made which can calculate stress from mind? So why future? We can still do that. There are EMG caps, EEG caps, sorry. It's called, I forgot, ECG caps. Yes, sorry, ECG. So ECG caps, these are this sensor caps which you can put on your brain, and they calculate and just record your mental activity. And based on certain models, certain scientific calculated models, you can quantify how much stress is being taken. Sometimes it's not very accurate. So the way I do stress testing or human brain stress testing in my experiments is I give them a questionnaire. So as simple as that. So I give them how much physical stress did you feel on a scale of 1 to 10. They can judge it, right? How much fast did you have to think on a scale of 1 to 10? And these subjective measures or these questionnaires are very recommended, especially in human-robot interaction. You can check out is NASA TLX, NASA Task Load Index. That's what we follow for calculating stress, but we don't use sensors for it. We just ask, it's a subjective matter. They, on a scale of 1 to 10, they would say how stressed they were during the situation. There are sensors. I haven't used it personally, but people are working on it. So I think that's all. We have all the questions here answered. I hope I could, oops, sorry, what's happening here? I'll stop the share. Yes, so I hope I could inspire a couple of you. I hope there was some important and useful knowledge that you can use and learn maybe for a future. And all the best for your career. You guys are the rising stars in the future of the humanity. So make sure you do something awesome.
Great. Thank you so much. You know what? There has not been any session that had so much of interactions. We know we generally ask them to unmute their mics and speak. So maybe the students have always been shy. But the approach you had, and then the topic and the way you conveyed things, and so dedicatedly you are answering so many. I believe there were 100 plus questions. That's what I feel.
Maybe I'll have to see the recording again.
So that has been, a great contribution from your end, and I have never seen so much of enthusiasm amongst these students. And then I would also push these students, if you want to interact more with sir and you want more of such sessions, maybe you could subscribe to the channel, and maybe I could redirect you to Miss Khushbu Vaidya's portal. She is the founder of Boarding Pass for Success, and what you have seen today is just a part of what initiative she takes. So maybe there are several more, and we can't thank you enough, Jayam. It's so great of you to give so much of time to us.
And because of you, we get the stage to talk to students, and we get to help others. So it's all of us together, I would say. But thank you for having us. I'm
And
really
we'll
happy
report
to
you the
see.
outcomes whenever these students they do some great achievements. We'll also
Sure,
write to you that
sure,
it is your contribution that has helped us to escalate so much.
sure. Thank you so much, Tong. Thank you so much.
Okay. So if more students have doubts, maybe you can redirect to me. I will post it to Jayam sir, and we'll not disturb him a lot. But at times, we may invite him again, and
Sure.
we may address more questions of these students. Okay, great, great. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the students for being there, and thank you once again, Jayam sir. Bye.
Thank
A
you.
good day to you, and a good evening to all the students.
Good
Okay,
evening.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.